Then, joining us now is a man who presents and talks sports on Radio Unilag 103.1 FM, Sheun Ajidagba. Glad to have you join us, Sheun.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
It seems the same old story, PSG every year. What happened to them on Wednesday night?
I listened to Nasser El-Khelaifi, the president of PSG, complaining about the referee from Italy. But I always say that if I were to be the owner of PSG, last season, Unai Emery would have been gone. I'll tell the photographer, snap his picture, and at the back of the photograph, I sign his sack letter. He doesn't have the clout to lead Paris Saint-Germain to win the UEFA Champions League.
Excuse me. Carlo Ancelotti had the clout. He didn't win it.
Solomon, I say it today, tomorrow, even on public holiday, he doesn't have the clout to lead them to the UEFA Champions League. It's the honest truth. This was the same man that defeated Barcelona 4-0 and went ahead to concede 6-1. It has never happened in the history of Champions League, but it happened under him. Now they went to get the most expensive player whose budget is bigger than Nigeria, Egypt, and maybe South Africa. Still, they cannot win.
Budget or Super Eagles? Or,
I mean, no. 222 million euros. He earns £586,000 per week. And it was about 186 million pounds that was signed for Neymar. So what else do you want? He doesn't have the clout to lead them to the El Dorado. And I say it from this position, PSG are out of the Champions League.
Does it have to do with the coach or structure to think that you can automatically just buy titles by throwing money around?
The leader has a say in whatever happens in a club. And the leader at this stage is the coach. You cannot explain why an Angel Di Maria, who has been dropping in the numbers, was dropped to the bench. You cannot explain why you had a Julian Draxler stay on that bench and you allowed a Lo Celso to be on that field for as long as you think you can just put him there. There was a Lavin Kuzawa who was on the bench that could give you some attacking display and some defensive duties. Maybe it's a headache of the embarrassment of riches for PSG, so the coach should have the headache of choosing from that. That's why I'm saying that you need somebody who knows how to arrange those embarrassment of riches, those array of stars, to take them to that promised land. Well, Laurent Blanc was there. Would you say he didn't know how to lead the team? The reason they sacked Laurent Blanc was because Nasser El-Khelaifi felt there was nothing Sheikh Mansour and the Abu Dhabi brothers were doing at Manchester City that they don't have. They think they also have the financial muscle to compete with Sheikh Mansour. So for them to have lost out to Manchester City was what was the Achilles heel of Laurent Blanc. And we knew that Unai Emery is a coach for Europa League. It was shocking to the bone marrow to see him even qualify and get to that stage. And we all went gongo after beating Barcelona by 4-0. But what do you know? They considered 6. But mathematically, they are not out of it. They scored a vital away goal. They dominated most of the first half. They just didn't have the cutting edge. So where does this leave them? Where does this leave PSG at this point? If they have one vital away, do you see them? At a different platform, sometimes last week, prior to the Lagos City Marathon, I said it. I said, if a Nigerian was among the top 10, I'm going to sweep Third Milan Bridge. And I'm saying it today. Of course, there was a Nigerian whole run for the US. Solomon, let's come back to reality. For them to have scored 3-1, would they get to pack the princess and not get a goal? Which defense wants to stop Cristiano Ronaldo, all those Marcelo, Isco, Modric? All right. You think nobody can stop them, but just this last question. Sunday Ole says well, he's been suspended, and the story going on is he's been suspended. He was actually suspended. He was suspended, and yeah, but for me, I didn't like the coach has been doing well. I didn't like the way Sunday Ole went about it. Those things you are sharing with us should have been after the nail has been on the coffin. You are telling us that the reason they suspended you was because anti-club activities were going on. You have given us too much information. You are still under suspension. And I think suspension will lead to sacking. Because those things, and I'm sure there's going to be an inquest, because FIFA will want to know what anti-club activities is going on at Fortuna Sittard. Thank you very much there, as lucid as ever and straight to the point.
Sheung Ajidagba, analyzing all that has gone on in the world of sports in the last 24 hours. Of course, the UEFA Champions League and the suspension or the trouble that Fortuna Sittard with our own Sunday Olise. And that will be all of sports at this time. But the breakfast show continues with Mike and Azi.